If your idea of fun is playing duck, duck, goose with a 12 gauge, then put down your Cheetos and Tannerite and pay attention. We're gonna turn this into a duck boat, but I can't do it all by myself. I am gonna need your help. So grab your neighbor's Sitka camo, let's go build this thing.
Hey guys, just so you know, Black Friday sales have begun for TB Nation out here, including what you're probably about to see in this video. Nate has completely lost his mind and put all of his aluminum products on sale, and a lot of our most popular vendors have also gone in to give you huge discounts here for this week. And also watch out for our 12 Days of Christmas sale coming up here in December. Now I'll give it back to Chris.
So we've had a ton of requests to build a duck hunting boat kit, or a waterfowl hunting boat kit if you want to call it. And by far the most popular boat that people wanted us to build was a 1436 John boat. So we, as in me and you, are going to design a kit for this 1436 John boat. Now, seeing how popular our last Weekend Warrior kit did, the fishing version, this is going to be the Weekend Warrior duck hunting edition. So I've already got some ideas of how I would build this if this was my duck boat. But I'm not building this kit for me, I'm building it for you guys. So we're going to do this kit a little bit differently than we've done in the past. We're actually going to build it according to you guys' request. And that's what I need your help with. Now, I'm not going to be able to accommodate every request. We're not going to be able to put a hot tub in this thing. And just because some duck hunters like to crappie fish doesn't mean we're going to put 17 live scope transducers on front of this. So let's be reasonable about this. First and most important thing is this kit needs to be budget friendly. We're still going to be all aluminum. It's going to have aluminum lids in it, but I don't want it to be more expensive than the Weekend Warrior fishing kit was. So we're going to be limited to 2, possibly 3 lids. For sure, without a question, it is getting a gun box lid, and the gun box lid that I've chosen for this particular project is going to be an 8 by 48 inch lid. And then for that back area, I've got a rear lid that is 10 by 30, which is the exact same size as we did in a Weekend Warrior fishing kit build, and it worked out really good. So that's going to go right in there. This particular boat's got a really crappy wooden transom. It'll probably do okay, but I want to beef it up to something a little bit better. So I think we're going to go with an aluminum transom, unless you guys think otherwise. In my opinion, there's plenty of wood transom videos on YouTube, so I'm thinking aluminum transom here. Let me know what you guys think. But we need a sturdy transom because we're going to be running a surface drive on this. I picked up a Mud Skipper Featherlight 13 horse kit, so that's what we're going to run on this particular boat. Now, this gun box lid's going to fit somewhere right in here. What I don't know is which side you guys want it on. If it were me, it would be on this side of the boat. If you guys want it on the other side, let me know. Now, my idea for this back is to notch this in kind of like you would see on most of your typical mud boats, like a Havoc or something like that. Wall off the front of it, and then we clean out the inside of this bench right here so that you can access all that underneath for storage, gas tank, batteries, all that fun stuff, and it would go up underneath there. I think the notch would be great. It'd give enough room to kind of step back and run that mud motor without any issues. But we cannot do the notch and actually cut the whole front of this out and bring this back here if you guys want to do that. I personally think the notched out, you know, kind of angled back here would look pretty cool, but that's just me. One of the things I've gotten a lot of phone calls and questions about over the last couple of years is doing flat floors with seat pedestals inside of it. And that's what I think we're going to do in this boat. We're going to do a flat floor. I'm going to show you how to frame it out so that you can put a seat pedestal base in there. The biggest question I have for everyone watching is, do you want this to have one pedestal base in the floor, make this like a single person duck hunting rig, or do you want to put 2? Now, I'll caution you with 2. In this small of a boat, 2 people is going to be really, really crowded. I'm going to show you why here in just a second. But I think we can make it fit. I don't know if it will be a comfortable fit, but we can try and see what happens. You guys just got to let me know what you want to see. But the flat floor is definitely going in. The next thing that we really got to consider is how far up do we want this floor to go. So stretching out this tape measure from the very front deck of the boat up at the very tip back to here is 6 feet 8 inches. I would like to put a small front deck up here just so we can have some space to store stuff underneath. And if you ever want to take this boat out fishing, you will have a place to stand up here and fish if you want to do that. The big question is, how far back do you want that deck to go? And also, do you want to remove this bench? If we're gonna keep this as a single person duck hunting rig and we're only gonna have one pedestal base right here kind of centered in the floor, then we can leave the front wall of this bench and just remove all of this just to give you some space for like a cooler and decoys and stuff like that. But if you want this to be a 2-person rig, then we're gonna have to completely cut this out, which I'll show you guys how to do. It's really not as hard as people think it is. And we're gonna have to move the deck somewhere up in here. So just for frame of reference, this rib right here is about 2.5 feet back from the front of the boat. This rib right here is 3 feet 9 inches. So if we were to put the back of the deck here and just deck this over, you'd have almost 4 foot of deck space to kind of move around. If we put it up here, you only have like 2.5 feet of area to move around, and I don't really know if that is going to be enough room to, one, store anything, much of anything underneath it, and two, if it is going to be enough room to actually stand up here and do any fishing if you decide you want to do that later on. So we got a lot of decisions to make about how we want to do this area up here. None of it's difficult. It's just a matter of, do we want to bring the deck all the way back here for more deck and storage space, or do we want to eliminate this and have a smaller deck, either this size or this size, so that we have room for another pedestal base down in the floor so somebody else can sit there, plus have extra open area for putting decoys and stuff like that. Another little detail that I thought about with the gun box is, if people are going to use this as a hunting and fishing rig, do you want this to be just a dedicated gun box that's, you know, 50 or 60 inches long, just long enough to get some shotguns in there? Or do you want to go ahead and stretch it out and make it long enough to put fishing rods in? Typically, when I build rod lockers for people, I usually go for 7 feet. So 7 feet right here puts us almost up to where the front deck would start if we started it at that second rib. Again, not terribly difficult to do it either way. It's just a matter of what you guys want to see. You guys really want a dedicated hunting rig for just shotguns, or do you want, you know, some fishing features in there as well, like a rod locker, a bigger front deck? We just got to figure out which way we're going to go with this. Now, depending on which way we end up going with this front deck, we've got some options. If we're going to keep this as a duck hunting rig only, my personal opinion is the best is just to bring the deck back. We leave a space so that you have under storage underneath with no lid. That helps keep the cost of this kit down, because lids add cost very, very quickly. Another idea is we could do, kind of like we did in the Weekend Warrior boat, we could do this as an optional thing to where you can add a lid up here if you wanted to in that front deck. Really just depends on what you guys want to see. So that's going to be our first major decision, is figuring out if this is going to be a pretty much either a solo or a 2-person hunting rig, or we're going to make this kind of a mixed fishing and hunting rig. As far as electrical stuff goes, I know we're definitely going to want a light bar up front. We're definitely going to want some inside light. We'll need a bilge pump, front nav light, a rear anchor light. Definitely want a voltmeter with charging capability so you can plug up like your USB-C charger and charge your cell phone. Aside from that, my personal opinion is we keep this kind of simple on the electrical side. If you guys and gals have something specific that you want to see added onto this, let me know. I'm open to ideas. At the same time, we keep it budget friendly, and I want to try to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want to go too crazy with this build. So you have a lot of thinking to do about what exactly you want to see with this project. I'm going to take everybody's opinions into consideration and see what everybody's ideas are and see if we can kind of build this kit together. Now, the build on this boat is going to be a lot different than we've ever done before. Traditionally, what we've done in the past is we design our own kits, what we think is best based on what customer feedback we've gotten. We build it, film it, and then when we get done, we will make one video and show you guys what it looks like. And then we'll post the kit for sale up on the website. On this build kit, we're gonna do it totally different. I'm actually going to post this in small bits and pieces as we go. So once I get a few days to read everybody's comments, I'm gonna post this on Facebook and Instagram and see what people think. Once I gather up everybody's opinions and ideas, I'll come back, shoot another video, show you guys exactly what everybody wanted to see, go over some of the comments, and we'll go ahead and start laying everything out. And then every time after that we do something with the boat, we'll film a separate video and upload it in small little chunks that are a little bit easier to digest. That was one of the complaints I got from the original Weekend Warrior build kit video, was that it was just everything all in one like 45-minute video, and a lot of little detail stuff got left out. So the first thing we're going to be doing on this boat is more than likely replacing the transom or cutting out some of these benches or cutting pieces of the benches. I'm going to do one thorough video, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes long, however it takes, on replacing the transom. And then I'll do another video a couple days later on cutting out the benches or whatever else that we do, and we'll do that in small little chunks as the build progresses. Once the build is done, we'll do one big huge video to show it off and go over everything in the kit. You get to see the before and after, and that'll be over on the main Tiny Boat Nation channel. But the shorter, more detailed oriented videos are going to be on this channel right here. We're going to move this along as quickly as we possibly can. Duck season is right around the corner, so all I need to get started is y'all's opinion. The easiest way to do that, go down in the comment section, leave us a comment, tell us what you want to see, what your ideas are, and we'll read through all of those. You can also reach out to us on Facebook and Instagram. I'll post a link to this video on both those platforms if you want to message us over there. You can also call the main line here at the shop, or you can reach out to us through email. All of that is down in the description box of this video if you want to do it that way. All right, Project Duck Duck Goose is officially underway.